Well, welcome back to Morning Coffee here on the Radio Vision Network. I am Mark Hook, and guess what, folks? We're talking about banking, right? But not just banking. We're talking about online banking, okay? And here's the deal. I have the expert, right? She is the money coach. She is a former Wall Street Journal reporter for CNBC. Her name is Lynette Calfani-Cox, and she joins me on the Skype line right now. Good morning, Lynette, and welcome to Morning Coffee.
Thank you, Mark. Good morning to you. Appreciate you having me.
Oh, it's my pleasure. So here's the deal. We all know that online banking is popular, right? A lot of us, we use it. It makes our lives easier. It's easier to check balances, pay bills, deposit checks. But here's the problem. There is a staggering number of older people that don't use online banking. So how do we bridge that gap?
Well, I think, first of all, we have to look at some of the reasons why a lot of older Americans don't use online banking. And like you mentioned, a lot of us who are certainly, Gen Xers like myself, millennials, and others, we all know the great benefits of online banking, whether that's super convenience when it comes to managing your finances or just kind of having control over your finances. But I think for a lot of older Americans, they don't use online banking as much for a lot of different reasons. Some of it is that they're not necessarily sure about the technology. Some of it is about lack of access. And then there's some safety concerns too.
Yeah, you know what though? I feel like the banking, like the apps and the online portals, they've really improved to make them very user friendly. So that intimidation of not being able to use the technology, how do we ease some of those fears?
Well, there's a great new program. It's called Ready, Set, Bank. And it's a good way for older Americans to learn about online banking. This initiative was actually started by Capital One, a bank, obviously, and it's designed to bridge that digital divide and show older Americans the basics of what they need to do in order to manage their finances online successfully. So, for example, some of the things that you mentioned, this program, the Ready, Set, Bank initiative, it's basically a series of videos, kind of bite-sized videos, 44 of them in all. And people can just kind of look at the videos either in sequence or they can pick and choose the videos that they want to see what skills can I learn. So maybe they want to learn how to transfer money online in between different accounts or how to just use a smartphone, for example, and deposit a check like that. Watching those videos will really help them to learn how to do all those skills and more.
Yeah, well, I mean, Capital One. I was going to mention that Capital One was bringing us to you today because they're so great with this program, Ready Set Bank. It really takes out a lot of the intimidation, right? Like a lot of people are intimidated to go to the online banking services, but this Ready Set Bank, that's going to kind of ease a lot of people's fears.
That's absolutely the case, and Capital One knows the importance of preparing Americans, especially older adults, who need to get ready for tomorrow today, because technology has changed so many things in our lives, and we all want to have that sense of control and sense of ownership as well about our finances. And it's a good thing because your bank in many ways is kind of your best partner when it comes to managing your personal finances.
And I'm talking to Lynette Calfani-Cox. She's known as the money coach. That is the best tagline I think I've ever heard for anybody, and that's trademark. That's awesome.
It is indeed trademarked. There might be a couple other money coaches out there, but certainly none not with that registered.
That's right. That's right. But you know what, Lynette, you were talking about the technology, and one of the things I think that scares older people is that they're afraid that they're going to get scammed or they're going to have some sort of security issue. So how do we kind of like calm some of those fears?
Well, one of the great things about these videos and the Ready, Set, Bank initiative is that it does tackle the issue of online safety head on. It shows people things like what the banks do in order to watch out and help people to avoid scams, whether that's tracking your payment history, the transactions that you're making, ensuring that, for instance, if there's any unusual transaction patterns, that kind of stuff gets flagged. And the videos also highlights the things that we can do as consumers, whether that's making sure you keep your passwords safe, or monitoring your accounts and making sure that if you notice anything suspicious that you alert your bank immediately.
Yeah, and you know what? I just have to find out right now, where do I see these videos?
Well, you can go to readysetbank.org for more information and to watch the videos and really learn tell a lot of people too that, obviously this is designed for older Americans, but maybe you just haven't learned, and you might be younger as well, but those videos really can help you to learn how to manage your finances online. Great program.
Yeah, that's really cool. That's easy. That's readysetbank.org. Now, I have a question for you that's kind of like a little off the track here, but the big thing right now in online banking is that mobile check deposit. But a lot of people have a lot of hard time trying to get that deposit actually accepted and into their accounts. Do you have any tips for people when they're trying to do that picture of the check and all that stuff?
Well, this is one of the great things. I'm telling you, if you check out these videos, they actually show you, they'll walk you through step by step, because I think some people do grapple with some of the technology, and the applications are there, whether it's, it doesn't matter. You can bank at any particular bank and learn about what you should be doing, especially when it comes to things like you mentioned, depositing checks. The Ready Set Bank initiative is non-branded, so it shows you what you'll be able to find online or using your mobile device, frankly, at any bank.
Oh, that's cool. So Capital One is doing this service, but they're not like shoving Capital One down your throat, right? They just want it to be great information for everybody to be able to use to make banking easier.
That's absolutely right. That's why I was thrilled, frankly, to be able to partner with them, because I know about the importance of financial literacy for a lot of different populations and different segments of the American society, and we definitely have to make sure that we bring older Americans into the fold. As you mentioned in the beginning, Mark, only a small fraction of older adults, only about 18% of them who are over 60 are using online banking, and we've got to make sure that we give them the tools to help them to better engage. And interestingly, research shows that older Americans, they really do want to go digital. Pew did some research and found that about 3/4 of older adults said that they would adopt digital technology if somebody just helped them out and showed them the way. And so that's what Capital One is doing with this initiative. And frankly, it's part of a larger financial literacy initiative, $150 million commitment that they made. And it's for this population in particular, but I think it can really help a lot of Americans.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, I think the joke is that they got to get their grandson to help them use the computer, but they really do. They really do want to use it, and I think that if you just went to readysetbank.org, you're going to get all that great information. Lynette, you are awesome. Thank you so much for spending a few minutes with me this morning.
Thank you, Mark. Appreciate you having me.
You're quite welcome. That was Lynette Calfani-Cox. She is the money coach. She is a former Wall Street Journal reporter for CNBC. And she just wants you to go to readysetbank.org and just learn about online banking. It's great for older people. You guys need to definitely pay attention to that. But it's for anybody. So I want to thank her for joining us. I got to take another break here on Morning Coffee, but don't go anywhere. I'm going to be right back on the Radio Vision Network.
Today's show is sponsored by Hargrove Demolition, your demolition experts. Hargrove is a family-owned and operated business right here in the southern New Jersey area, bringing you 45 years of demolition expertise. Hargrove has all your demolition needs, from emergency demolition service to demolition equipment rental. Hargrove is one of the state-approved recycling facilities right here in the southern New Jersey area. No job is too big or too small for Hargrove Demolition. Contact them today at one of their 3 locations.
When it's time for Jersey Mike's to give a sub some sizzle, this is the way. The way it's always been. The way it always should be. The way it always will be. Because that's just the way it's supposed to be. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
If you haven't been to Speed Raceway, what are you waiting for? You want to live fast? You want to make every second count? Then grab the family. Round up the guys. Speed Raceway is 100,000 square feet of excitement, whether you're a kid or a kid at heart. Speed Raceway is the place for endless fun all summer long. Log on to speedraceway.com or just get here now.
When we make Beyond Natural dry dog and cat foods, we start with real meat as the first ingredient. We leave out corn, wheat, and soy. And we own where our dry food is made. 100%. Can other brands say all that? For nutrition you can trust and your pet will enjoy. Does your food go beyond? Learn more at purinabeyond.com.
Extra Innings is the nation's premier indoor baseball and softball training center, featuring indoor batting cages, 7 multi-use tunnels, and training rooms. Extra Innings can provide professional instruction, private and group lessons, and the best year-round clinics. Along with a nationally recognized pro shop that features the latest and widest selection of equipment and apparel, our experienced staff can provide you with the right instruction and help you find the best equipment for your ability and budget. Extra Innings, where the game never ends.
Today's show has been sponsored by More Than Gifts. Come see our new location in Marlton, New Jersey. Not just gifts, but more.